It is a beautiful day to kick off the Mountain Dew Custom Series season here on the NSDCA. Season 5 is upon us, and it kicks off here with the Bass Pro Shops Duels here at Daytona to set the field for the Valvoline 200. Let's go over your duel rules. See the pole sitter in both of our two duels here today, Colton Lane and then Alex Fletcher in the next one. They're locked in on the front row of the grid. The duel winner today will start third if it is not Colton Lane. Duel 2, that duel winner will start P number 4. After your front row, it is the next highest 14 cars out on track that are locked in. So regardless of points, qualifying speed, whatever, it's the top 14, not including the front row, in both the duels that will set the rest of the top 30. Next, after them, are the next highest qualifying times. The next 4 highest qualifying times will lock themselves in P31 to P34. Then behind them, it will be the next 6 highest on owners points. And unfortunately for the high grid we have this year, just under 60 cars, many of them will be going home, but won't leave just soon because there will be a consolation race. But let's get the engines fired up here for season number 5. The field here of 29 in this duel will roar to life. Engines firing up, and we have a full pace lap here to take us around the 2.5-mile oval. That is Daytona International Speedway. Colton Lane trying to show how strong that Mid-South Automotive equipment is already, getting a big launch just off the pit lane. 14's basically been the fastest car this whole Speed Weeks. And he's looking to prove it again by possibly destroying everything in the duel. But the starting lineup is going across your screen right now. To the outside of the number 14 is the Season 1 champion, Peter Ajak, returning to his number 44 here in the MDCS for his own team once again. The reason why he's running both series this year is that he wants to go for the all-time starts record here in the NSDCA and also wishes to possibly relive some of that Season 1 glory and get up to championship contending caliber. Right behind them, you see in third place the number HEB 39 of Antoine Smith for Evernham Motorsports. Antoine, you see, he's basically a rookie here to the NSDCA, but rookies have won in this race. Well, the race that this is going to be for, and that number 39. Anderson Reed pulled it off in the number 39 for Evernham back in season number 3, shocking everyone to win the Valvoline 200. On the outside of Antoine are the Cloud Foster Racing Operation duo of Stephen Walsh Jr. and Preston Emmons, both of those cars carrying the X-Side colors this season. These two have basically, this team in general, Cloud Foster, basically been underrated, but Stephen Walsh Jr. won a race last year at South Boston. But starting 5th, there's number 77 of Bobo Jones, returning that Monster Energy Green, number 77 that Diego Yepes drove to his glory in Season 1 and Season 2. But here they come. Green flag is out. We're racing in Bass Pro Shops Duel number 1 to kick off the Mountain Dew Custom Series season. Look at the lead Colton Lane got. He got a great start, but Antoine Smith might be laying back just a little bit and trying to hang him out to dry. Coming off turn 2, there'll be max speed coming into turn 3. Down the back straightaway, the Daytona super stretch. What's going to happen? Who's going to make the move? Comes Bobo Jones underneath Antoine Smith, possibly making a move. There's Emmons. Emmons going to go underneath his teammate. He wants the Daytona glory right off from the bat. Rose backs out. He's backing up out high. He doesn't want to be a part of this. Can Bobo Jones prove anything with Colton Lane? That's a teammate in the Crown Royal Truck Series right behind them. DJ Curtis taking over the GoDaddy number 10. Lap 1, it is all Colton Lane. Look at the two Dodges up high. Ajak and Stephen Wallace Jr. trying to work together to build the third line, but they only got 2 cars left. I don't think that's going to be enough of them. Ticker, we're going to watch the 14th spot and 15th spot, depending on where Lane ends up, to see who transfers or not. You see Jacob Rose working his way down to the middle line, blocking off a run from Jose Mills. Boy, Antoine and Ajak really fell off up on the high side. And look at this. Bobo Jones, his teammate, working strong with him already. That's Jeffrey Finguy, who's making the move along with Bobo here to the Mountain Dew Custom Series. But he's not going with him for long. Here comes Finguy looking for second. The Auto Owners Insurance, number 92, trying to prove that he's deserving the race win. But it's Mike Cook, who drove for Shepard in the Truck Series last year, trying to take away position number 2. Can't quite do it. He backs out. He lets Finguy back down. That's going to hang his teammate out to dry. Finguy, his teammate Bobo Jones. But boy, Colton Lane looking untouchable so far as we got some crazy three-wide racing back here near the transfer spot. It was Friesen at the line who had the transfer over Gunnar Matheson and Stephen Wallace Jr., but Wallace Jr. going backwards there on the top. Really getting scored. There comes Mike Cook for second. Those guys fighting hard behind Lane. I don't think anybody's going to even be able to challenge to pass him. 3 wide. You see some awesome action here already at the Daytona International Speedway. Antoine Smith going underneath his teammate Logan Cloud, trying to make sure that he locks himself in for the race. I'm pretty sure, yeah, he has one of the fastest... No. Yes. He's locked in on qualifying speed, so it doesn't really matter whether 39 finishes in this duel because he has that to fall back on at the end of the day. How about, oh man! Preston Evans and Bobo Jones, very close call there in turn number 2. And look at this elevator move out of the 94, working his way to the bottom. Evans started 6th in the duel, 11th in overall speed, 13th in overall speed charts, I think. I'm not sure, but we got to look back up here at the action at the front. It's Matt Sladek here for Shade Burkhart Racing, taking over P2. One of the only Toyotas in the field, for this duel at least. You see there, Matt Sladek trying to make a run on Colton Lane. He might be just a little bit too far back, so we're going to hit lap 5 here. But Shade Burkhart Racing has an excellent Truck Series plate program, but here in the MDCS, it's a little bit lackluster. Although they don't really have the equipment advantage as they do there. And how about this? Jacob Rose working at the bottom with fellow Ford Jose Mills. Mills hasn't been present since Season 3. He took a year off to go race in Europe. But he is back here for Astra Motorsports. They used to be called Gold Motorsports. But even further back, that is the 86 of Dylan Young. This car made only like half the season with Jacob Rose driving, and now it's pushing Rose to P2. So it has the Fitzwater Australia camp put in the work to bring this 86 up to strong potential, or are we just seeing some shuffling going on? Got a lot of faster cars toward the back as look a little slow off the corner. Speaking of slow, oh no, Bobby Jones for Harman Venning Peterson, that small team with Ginn Resorts on the hood, they've lost the draft. You hate to see it there for the 06 team. Who else is struggling? Austin Delgado, TJ Hanley, Daniel Cosba, Diego Yepes back here in the 07. Trying to put Impala in the show. Looks like he's having a harder time than expected of doing that. Then you have Christian Vargas, Daniel Elliott, Maxwell Fye, and Derek Hamill there on the inside. Those guys not helped at all where they're sitting right now. In the transfer spot last time by was Mike Cook, but he's 3 wide with Friesen and Wallace Jr. Anderson Reed, their driver owning for his own team. He's doing double duty in both the series this season. He's trying to crack up there in the number 47, punch that car's ticket into the show. Looking further up the grid. Up to second now is the 94 of Preston Emmons. Bobo Jones immediately ducks to the inside. All the passing for second, just allowing Colton Lane just to sail by out front and just look absolutely dominant so far, continuing that Speed Weeks trend. Let's go on board for a lap or two. Why don't we go on board with the rookie, Jeffrey Finguy. See the bumps here on Daytona tearing up the suspension of that car. We got a lot of clouds toward the north and over the Atlantic. And look at this. Colton Lane pushed to the outside. But did Bobo Jones lift? I thought I heard a checkup. Bobo Jones at the 77 may have lifted it. That was the best chance to pass Colton Lane. He may have just thrown it away. as we are already past halfway in this duel. It is going by fast. Stephen Wallace Jr. holding down the transfer spot, currently P15 because of where Lane is. He's stuck in underneath Gunnar Matheson. That could put Larry Hagan locked in. He may not need to fall back on owner's points, although that 28 is fairly high up on points. Any big surprises outside? Carter Friesen, I guess, would be considered a big surprise, as well as Diego Yepes, two very experienced drivers in this field, could possibly miss the show, as well as RBSTS champion Daniel Elliott. Bobby Jones, there's no hope for that team. He is way off the draft. He's like a couple seconds off. Yeah, no hope there. Bobo Jones very close to the back bumper, but Logan Cloud jumps out. If Cloud just stayed behind Bobo Jones, they could have gotten past Colton Lane. But obviously they know they're fighting for third place either way, if they're fighting there for the win or second place in this duel, as Lane is your pole sitter. And we got some big separation now in the pack. That's going to help guys like Jose Mills, or girls like Priya McShane and Matt Sladek there, as Antoine Smith really checks up the second half of the pack. Excuse me. That's really going to shake up the battle here for the top 15 spot. Remember, Smith, one of the drivers who can fall back on speed. Back up to the front. They're hanging at 14 out to dry. Will Logan Cloud have a run on Colton Lane? Coming down, it's 6 to go here in Bass Pro Shops duel number 1. Nothing into turn 1. Too far back. Do they have anything down here in the turn 2? At the corner exit. Cloud closing in. Does he make the move? Ooh, thought about, couldn't quite do it. And that's going to allow Bobo Jones to sneak right back under. This could very, very, very get dicey here coming up soon. Priya McShane making up more ground, but she's falling back now on the high side. Transfer spot currently goes to Larry Hagan, but Dylan Young has gotten past Hagan for that, but Hagan will take it back because Matheson's falling right back. Now Maxwell Fine may have a fighting chance. Look at the 17 working the draft here late, trying to crack the top 15. Jones and Rose here now fighting it out for P2. Rose thinking about a look, doesn't quite do it. GJ Curtis dumps to the inside, trying to get past that number 94, Preston Emmons, as you see former teammates on Jack and Cloud working together. And Lane runs it a little bit wide in turn 2. First time all day, Colton Lane could lose the race lead, and it could be that number 77, Bobo Jones. Or not! Jacob Rose thinking about 3 wide. 3 wide for the lead in duel number 1. Lane backs out, doesn't want to tear up that pole-sitting equipment. Jeffrey Finguy, a rookie, pushing to the inside to P2. He's got Ajak in tow right behind. 4 to go here at BPS, duel number 1. Sladek trying to block McShane up high. Fine now holds the transfer spot as Dylan Young has fallen back off. And now Finguy going for the race lead. Who's got the run? Rose has more momentum up top. Ajak doing his best to push the 92 ahead so he can think about a look underneath Jeffrey. Logan Cloud pushing his former team boss possibly to go glory. He's got 2 Rockstar Energy Racing teammates right behind them. DJ Curtis and Priya McShane. Side by side here, the entire top 10 grouped up, and we're packing and stacking them back up here for the finish. I think the power of that 77 and 14's got to be strong up there up high. That's really what's keeping these guys in charge. Ajak is a big check up. That could allow somebody to sneak to the inside and could allow the top 5 to break away. Hagan sits in 15, just over Matheson and Young. Oh, they're all scattering here. Coming over, Finguy had a big checkup and a huge run. Colton Lane powers the P2 and wants that race lead back. Let's go on board with Preston Emmons here late. There's Lane making the race move, trying to make the race-winning move. He's got to hold off Emmons to do it, though, as they blow by the 45. Finguy must have got loose there coming into turn 1. That really hurt everybody in this pack. Going back here to the TV cameras. 2 to go. 5 miles left. It's Anderson Reed now, side by side with Maxwell 5 for the transfer spot. That's the fight for P15. Priya McShane could be in danger. She could fall out of this and have to rely on points if she has them. Does Emmons have anything for the 14? Bobo Jones wants third back from Sladek, but Sladek's proving the SBR might on the plate tracks once again, this time in the Mountain Dew Custom Series. Here we go. It'll be the final lap presented by Credit One Bank. Preston Emmons, does he have anything for him? Jacob Rose wants the lead back. It's the white flag here at Daytona. Colton Lane, the dominant car, the Pontiac, back in the lead for Mid-South Automotive. Fi has the transfer spot that time. Let's take a look back. He may have it over Reed. Reed's going to have a last chance opportunity coming up soon. But the inside slow. Stephen Wallace Jr. could fall out if he's slow enough there on the inside. I think Curtis had a big checkup. The top three are absolutely gone. Jacob Rose stacks up the field, and with Bobo Jones going for second, that's probably going to mean Colton Lane gets this race win, and it's side by side back there for P15. Who's going to make the show? But who's going to win the race? Coming off turn 4, the fastest car on pole day will be the fastest car in the duels. Colton Lane will come down and win the Bass Pro Shops duel number 1. But here, for the transfer spot, side by side, that's going to be for P13. Dylan Young edges Stephen Wallace Jr. But because the 44 and the 39 have locked themselves in with the top 15, that means Stephen Wallace Jr. locks himself in with his qualifying time. So there's less stress there for the Cloud Foster Racing Operations team, as both their cars will be in the show. Let's get here to your finishing results. Colton Lane, Bobo Jones, Preston Emmons, Jacob Rose, Jeffrey Finguy, Matt Sladek, Peter Ronjak, Jose Mills, Antoine Smith, Logan Cloud, DJ Curtis, Priya McShane, Maxwell Fi, Larry Hagan, Dylan Young locked themselves in on being in the top 15, with it being the top 14 plus Lane. Stephen Wallace Jr., with his 7th fastest time on pole day, will lock himself into the show because of the 44 and 39 making it as well. Alright, well, that's going to do it here for duel number 1. You see everybody making it out. They're going to have to rely on either owner's points or they'll be going home after the consolation race and not making the Valvoline 200 grid. Well, we'll get you ready here for duel number 2 in a moment. Hello everybody, and welcome back to duel number 2 here for the NSDCA Mountain Dew Custom Series here. It's Thursday here for the Bass Pro Shops duels. So, duel number 1, we saw Colton Lane take his number 14 Vornado Pontiac up. He was the dominant car of the day. He was pole on pole day. Led about first 10 laps. Then he got passed up by guys like Bobo Jones, Jacob Rose, before passing them back and marched his way to victory. For the cutoff spot, which was P15 because of where Lane was, we saw Dylan Young barely edge out Stephen Wallace Jr. The 86 and the 98 were fighting side by side there for that 15th transfer spot. But because 2 cars made it on speed, that would be the 44 and 39. The 98 was therefore locked in on speed, so Wallace Jr. is in the grid and does not have to rely on owner's points. Rules for this duel are the same. Alex Fletcher is locked in no matter where he finishes, and then it is the top 14 in respect to Fletcher, which means because he has one of the best cars on the grid, he'll probably be contending for the race win, if not leading all the laps. So in reality, it's more like the top 15 make it in. Then it's the next 4 fastest on speed out of both duels, and the next 6 highest in owner's points from both duels. Let's get them fired up here in duel number 2.
Drivers, start your engines.
Field of 28 will roar to life. We've got a full field of entries, and we got some heavy hitters in this one, as the starting lineup will come across your screen here. It's Alex Fletcher on pole at number 48. Dominant equipment, last season's championship equipment that Jake Galloway took in those cobalt colors. The victory. Can he do that this season? I'm sure he will. He's got some promising talent. Very slept on, I think, by the other team owners there in the RBSDS last season. Team owner Jay Jefferson realized that and picked him up to drive the 48. Cody Smart used to drive for Texas Star Racing. Now he's at Zachary Racing and Championship equipment there in the number 53. So Smart's looking to turn his career around this season. Matthew Brown is an RBSDS champion. The 01 has new colors from Tractor Supply this season. Dentine coming aboard as a secondary. Can Brown turn it around this season? We'll have to see if Butcher Gatorade Motorsports can have some strong performances. Last season's winner of the Valvoline 200 was rookie Jesse Turner, the number 29. Number 29 sees Turner return to the Food City colors, but with a new number and new manufacturer as Toyota comes aboard with an alliance with Shade Burkhart Racing for their team, Ditech Motorsports. And a teammate right behind Turner's the 33, William Duncan, returning to his Saya colors, but with a new number as well, number 33. The third factor in the championship last season long-term was the number 9 of Austin Johnson. He saw himself basically contend with Colton Lane, but got into him twice at Watkins Glen and Gateway and possibly damaged both of their championship hopes through those incidents. Austin's looking to turn it around, and with dual title sponsor Bass Pro Shops on the hood of that number 9, he's looking to have a big showing today and possibly sneak in the dual win and start P3 for the main event. But the Valvoline 200, the rest of it field, is about to get decided. The green flag is out here in duel number 2. Let's see who makes it. We climb up to speed through turn number 2. Cody Smart didn't get the best run up there on the high side. Matthew Brown already clear for second, and Noah Clifton for Fitzwater Australia Racing. We saw Dylan Young make the field, Clifton's teammate. Now he's trying to do it. And the number 59, the car his team boss Fitzwater Sr. drove for 4 seasons. He's not here in the MDCS anymore. He's graduated the trucks full-time, finally. Fletcher's team boss, Jay Jefferson, as well in the duel here in the number 21, working his way up in the bottom. We do have a championship contending car toward the back of the grid. That's Roger Ray, the number 40. He had to go to the backup from practice. Patrick Smith, also a familiar name, returning to the grid, now with Gatlin Downey Incorporated. Back up at the front, we're already fighting for second as Austin Johnson makes a look underneath Matthew Brown. Clifton sticking with the number 9, leaving the Ford hung out to dry. Does his teammate Mathis Wells go up to help Matthew Brown? No, he actually thinks better of it. He does not want to help his teammate for whatever reason. And Noah Clifton underneath Austin Johnson for second. Do you believe it? This number 59 with the Foster's money coming on board that hood. That's incredible to see this car up front this early in the season. William Duncan dropping back up high, possibly conserving his stuff for a late race charge. You see Matthew Ease, another super speedway ace, up there toward the top. Eric Monaco going to the outside of his team boss Cody Smart there. They're fighting it out there as we should take a look who is at the transfer spot. That's number 6 of Cordell Smith, leading like this single file brigade there on the inside for at least a couple cars before he hits the top 14. Ricky Freeman Jr. up here. This team showed up in Memphis testing, getting a top 15 time. They ran a couple races last season, got wrecked out of Texas. I don't think they qualified for any other races, but 0-3 trying to prove that they are the little team that can possibly make the Valvoline 200 grid. Mathis Wells, Jay Jefferson laying back there on Fletcher, possibly trying to make a run. We'll have to see coming down toward turn number 1 as well as close enough. Does he have the momentum? Closing up. Toward turn 1. Do we see a move out of the 78? No. But the 21 staying in line. That's what we saw have Colton Lane get past in duel number 1. Second and third just staying in line and working together to push their way past. Caleb Henderson there in the 20 Andy Caps. Number 20 for Impala trying to make the grid. But now Jefferson's forced up high because it's John Dilks moving underneath him. The Toyota trying to throw off the Dodges and the Fords, the American manufacturers. And now Austin Johnson working his way back up, trying to pass Fletcher for the race lead. Freeman drafting with Jefferson up high. He's going to have no help, however, behind. They could lose some spots there, as there's one of the Toyota race development drivers, teammates to Dilks and Smith. All three of those teammates in this duel. It's Luke Rainey, possibly the fastest of those three. He was the fastest out of their teammates, but he had to go to a backup car after pole qualifying, after he hit the wall. Cody Smart stuck 3 wide. That is for the transfer spot. Caleb Henderson trying to push himself into the field, and either Smart, Brown, and Yamakaze out. This boy, he had a big run for second there, but Dilks moving underneath Wells for second. Gonna buy Fletcher more time there in the 48. Let's go off the back bumper of the Cobalt Dodge. To see that gap is solid. Dilks is just struggling to catch up to him. The aerodynamics on this 48 are borderline illegal, it seems, because of how fast his car is. But Dilks does have a run. Same speed. He did have a run, at least, coming off of turn 2. Does he have anything for him in turn number 3? Austin Johnson trying to make a lunge on Dilks. Is he too far back? No! Dilks leaving the door open. And now Austin Johnson's going to sneak right into second place. Look at that move. That's a veteran move out of Austin Johnson. Back toward the back of the grid. Who's struggling? Luke Rainey's falling back. Did he get the wall or something? That seems way too far back for the 82 team. 6 of Cordell Smith. The 19 McGinnis. 26 of Cody Hagan. Kodiak coming aboard a part-time car for Diego Yepes Incorporated. Boy, a super speedway ace, Matthew Eves, what's he doing back here for Ford Performance Racing? Struggling. He's probably going to have to go to the consolation race. Not even make the field. Boy, Casey Mears, Alex Peters, Jesse Turner out currently. Because 2 cars made it on speed last duel. Yeah, we're out of the top 4 in qualifying. Jesse Turner is locked in on speed, so he has a little less worry on that front. He set a blistering 49.640 on pole day. About to the halfway mark already. These duels are quick as Freeman really stacks up the bottom. Freeman, you can't drag the brake around Daytona. That's going to put him down to 15th. Then put to the outside by Mikey Yamakaze. But that puts a huge hole in between the packs. Could that possibly settle it here for the top 14 and Fletcher? Single file starting to get a little bit organized. Noah Clifton still holding down second. That proves how strong of a super speedway driver Clifton is. Currently for the Fosters 59. But Monaco, he saw Clifton leave the door open there. He's going for P2. William Duncan had a ton of bad luck last season. He's trying to turn it around this year for the Saya 33. Build his reputation back up and prove that he can compete for top 10s, maybe he even wins, because he was very strong, especially if the road course was running top 5. Until stuff got into his way. Some guys closing up. Freeman, 27 of Bob Helipad, Mikey Yamakaze, and Damian Blue. As Blue has a big run up top, all over the back of Bob Helipad now, as Roger Ray casually holds down B14, but he should be locked in on owner's points, I believe, when it comes down to it. And look at this. Eric Monaco, speed out of Smart Racing, has showed up on the offseason, and they're showing it now, as Eric Monaco could be the one to pass Alex Fletcher here for the race lead on lap number 9. Gonna have Noah Clifton in tow as well. As you see, the lap time starting to fall off just a little bit. Could hurt these guys, especially here in the tri-oval in turn 1, which are considerably bumpy. Yeah, Clifton let up just a little bit. That's really going to hurt possibly Monaco if Fletcher gets a run here in 1 and 2. Oh man, Fletcher got a huge run with Smart right behind him. Smart's just letting his team car fall back. I don't understand that move. Yeah, Fletcher did lead at the line, so. Holding out 15th currently is Damian Blue up high, feeling the pressure from Freeman on the inside as well as Bob Helipad. So these guys fighting it out, and these guys fighting it out 3 wide, fighting tooth and nail to make this grid. You got guys like Roger Ray, Mikey Yamakaze, maybe even Jesse. No, Jesse turns locked in. Alex Peters. These guys missing on owners' points is just like unfathomable. And those guys are going to buy up some spots that these smaller teams hope that they could get here when it came down to it. Now Monaco's saying, what are you doing, boss? Because he's trying to go past him for second. Trying to enact a little bit of revenge. But these two don't work together. They're never going to catch Fletcher in time. Brody pretty much still has the draft. I'm really surprised at the lack of speed of Cordell Smith and Luke Rainey, as their teammate John Dilks has been sitting in the top 10 like the whole duel. Now let's go on board with number 68. Eric Monaco peeking underneath. Alex Fletcher once again here coming off turn 4. Noah Clifton can't decide who wants to help out. I think he's going to help with the bottom. And boy, that 48, just like the 14, is just incredible here. Holding down the lead, no questions asked. Alex Fletcher wants to prove that he is championship caliber this season. They're coming down the back straightaway. A nice flyby of the grid. Shooting down, there's Clifton moving out underneath for P number 2. Oh, he can't quite get there. He's not going to get there. Noah Clifton going to have to let back for P3. Could this give Monaco a run here? We're coming to 3 to go, as we got big time separation now in the pack. Austin Murray, he's been quiet in like everything this season. Now he's trying to make a statement for himself and crack the grid for Johnson Performance. Monaco close on Fletcher. Does he get a run through 2? Arcing the entry of the corner. Monaco has a run. Just barely having a run. Does he do anything with it coming down the back? Or will Noah Clifton spoil the party? Clifton may have a bigger run. Yeah, Clifton's got a better run. He's moving underneath Monaco, trying to make sure the dodge of Fletcher wins the duel. If not, himself does. But Clifton backs out. Backs out into 3. Lets Monaco have it in P number 2. Jesse Turner holding down 15th. As it is a big cluster to make this grid. Eve, Smith, Blue, Brown, all fighting hard. Brown's in on speed, however. He has less to worry about. But boy, Austin Johnson does not want to fall back on owner's points. He wants to be one of those 4 that has to rely on speed to make it in. So we'll have to see what happens. This is, boy, Turner, huge check up there on the bank. We've hit the 2 to go mark. The pack has really split up here. And it may be down just to the top 3. Monaco making a move on Alex Fletcher. Clifton seeming like he wants to go with Fletcher more. Cody Smart's just a little bit too far back. But Monaco with the run on the bottom. It's neck and neck here for the race lead. Coming to the white flag in Bass Pro Shops duel number 1. Fletcher, a huge drive off. He's going to take the white flag, P number 1. Oh, is Clifton and Monaco too far back now? Fletcher had a super run off 4. That might make it done and dusted here. 15th was Patrick Smith. And that's going to give him a big advantage as Freeman and Yamakaze could be too far back. Back down. Does Noah Clifton have anything for Alex Fletcher? Monaco could be looking on Clifton. Clifton going high, trying to make sure Fletcher doesn't lose this race. William Duncan up the middle for P5. Coming down, Monaco and Smart trying to put together a late race run. Do they have anything for Alex Fletcher? Coming off turn number 4, they won't. Alex Fletcher dominates duel number 2, just like Link did in duel number 1. Alex Fletcher wins duel number 2, and who makes it in P15? Roger Ray. Roger Ray comes home P15. He's in. Ricky Freeman Jr. is in. Patrick Smith is in. Bob Helipad is in. Austin Murray is in. Turner didn't need speed. Noah Clifton in his both Fitzwater Australia cars are in. But boy, a bunch of big names in the back. Casey Mears coming home in last. That's a ticket to the consolation race. 27. Oh, Rennie was 28th. Never mind. Thought somebody dropped out of the race. Wow. We got some heavy hitters in the back. Austin Johnson, Alex Peters, Matthew Brown. Those guys are taking up spots that they expected to be in the top 15. Maybe they were just playing it safe because they knew they could rely on points and stuff, but you can never be too safe. It'll be heartbreaking if one of those guys missed the race, but in for sure. Fletcher, Monaco, Clifton, Duncan, Smart, Wells, Dilks, Jefferson, Murray, Lamas, Turner, Helipad, Patrick Smith, Freeman, and Roger Ray. See, taking a look at of the people that are relying on speed to get in, it will be Matthew Brown relying on speed to get in. Austin Johnson will use speed to get in. But we will get you your full Valvoline 200 lineup here after this. And here it is, your starting lineups for the Valvoline 200 and the Ditech Consolation Race. So, results of both duels there on the left side of your screen. But here on the right side, here are your starting lineups. Colton Lane and Alex Fletcher on row number 1, right where they were on pole day. Bobo Jones, Eric Monaco, Preston Emmons, Noah Clifton, Jacob Rose, William Duncan, Jeffrey Finguy, Cody Smart, Matt Sladek, Mathis Wells, Peter Ronjak, John Dilks, Jose Mills, Jake Jefferson, Antoine Smith, and Austin Murray. Logan Cloud, Cody Lamas, DJ Curtis and Jesse Turner, Freya McShane and Bob Helipad, 17 of Maxwell Fod, 35 of Patrick Smith, Larry Hagan and Ricky Freeman Jr., Dylan Young and Roger Ray. The cars to make it on speed are Matthew Brown, Stephen Wallace Jr., Austin Johnson, and Mikey Yamakasi. Making it on owner's points is Mike Cook, Luke Rainey, Alex Peters, Cordell Smith, Austin Delgado, and Anderson Reed. The order of the Ditech Consolation Race will look like this: Matthew Eves, Gunnar Matheson, Damian Blue, Derek Hamill, Camden Luca, 20 of Caleb Henderson, Christian Vargas, Cody Hagan, Diego Yefes, Carter Friesen, Daniel Elliott, Ryan Reed, Daniel Cosba, Trip McGinnis, Casey Mears, TJ Handley, 06, Bobby Jones. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you at the race.